my goal is to have the observer feel the movement of the painting, the movement of the animal if it's in the landscape, the bird, a 3D kind of feeling that you're in nature, that you're in the piece itself. I think I do that just with line and edge and texture and the volume of paint that I use, the scraping, the raw edges that all kind of come together and flow. The process is different every time I paint, but a theme throughout my work is a red or orange background with a lot of with just a lot of paint, and then I start layering different things. If it's a landscape, I'll start with the sky and then build onto the land, and then that needs to dry and several layers go on if there's a stream or anything I want to add. And then a lot of times I just listen to see if the piece needs a bird or a buffalo or just what my inspiration is at the moment. So I think this piece is going to have birds in it. I think this will be birds in a landscape. Usually with the landscape, I usually use just really thick paint going across, trying to create a background of trees, maybe a forest, just a sense of place with color and texture and light. And sometimes I'll start a piece and I have to let the layers dry. So right now the dark layers are drying, and I move around to different ones and let these different layers dry. The expression and the essence of each buffalo really has to sort of evolve in a process. So I go from one to the other. I don't work on one and then finish one. I just sort of work on the whole piece in a long period of time. So in this process of, you saw the drawing and the sketching slash painting, and this is sort of the final result of buffalo in a landscape. And I painted the white buffalo in this one. This was my first white buffalo in a herd, and it just felt like it needed to be in here, and I think it's starting a series of white buffalo. This piece is called the Sentinel. It's the scissortail flycatcher, the Oklahoma state bird. And when I created this piece, I wanted to create some depth in a forest background where you couldn't really tell if there was a bird in the painting or not. I wanted it to just be really fluid and where you really had to look to see the bird. And I feel like this bird is really powerful. This is the orange flame sort of rising up into its body, kind of matching the orange that's in the scissortail flycatcher. A really powerful, present bird. I was commissioned to do some painting for industry, and I decided to start painting on metal because metal lended itself well to industry. The metal isn't like canvas, has a slick surface, and so it's fun to paint on. It sort of slips and slides all around, and but it has a good quality to it, and I like the way the metal shows through the paint. This piece is called The Precipice,